Kristin.
Scott,
What's
what's up?
up, girl?
What's
How are
up?
you? How's
I'm
Washington?
good.
How's Washington D.C. area?
It is springy and sunny and 80 degrees today. How's it
Love
there?
exactly the same. Although, I believe we're going up to 90 today.
Dang.
So yeah, love this time of year. Wearing short sleeves. Look at this shirt.
Woohoo!
My cock with a microphone.
Oh, goodness. I have
That's
on my
me.
Swish edition shirt today.
I like that. I think that's the first time you've worn that on the show.
It is.
I like it a lot.
Me too.
Hey, I want to talk about. We're gonna jump right into it. Is that okay?
Yeah, let's
All
go.
right. Age appropriateness. Okay. I bet you have something to say about this. Have you ever accidentally exposed your child to inappropriate TV shows or movies? I bet you have.
Yes. Yes.
I was reminded about this yesterday that once upon a time, my sister and I, Laura, you know her, when
Yeah.
she was 8 and I was 10, my father took us to a movie, which I don't think happened very often. I don't remember just going with one parent to the movies. But he took us to the movies and he took us to see Airplane, the very famous, very funny parody movie of airplane disaster movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
It came out in 1980, so that tells you how old I am. I was 10 in 1980. Loved that movie. It had a bunch of awesome cameos in it, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Barbara Billingsley, who I met once upon a time. I brought her room service when I worked at the Williamsburg Lodge in Williamsburg, Virginia.
That's funny.
Yeah. Lloyd Bridges, Robert Stack, Leslie Nielsen, of course. And it's really funny, but it was completely inappropriate to take an 8 and a 10-year-old.
I would say so. Yeah.
Has that ever happened? Have you ever accidentally shown Max something that wasn't necessarily good for a 7-year-old?
Well, I mean, I think it happens all the time. Honestly, the thing that worries me the most is the news. Like we have the news on and like the morning news
Ugh,
and the afternoon news, the local
yeah.
news,
Who was stabbed
which is
today?
full, yes, which is
Yeah.
full of murders and terrible, terrible stuff. And I'm constantly running over and muting it or trying to distract him and change the channel.
Oh my God.
I worry more about violence than like funny stuff. Like
Yeah.
even like the Jurassic Park movies that he started watching when he was 4 or 5 years old. There's a lot of violence in those.
A lot
And
of scary stuff.
yeah, and I was just saying to Rob, like, I think he's desensitized to it because he was begging to watch terrible action adventure about the gigantic sharks at the bottom of the ocean. The Meg.
The Meg.
The Meg
I
and
love that movie.
and the second Meg, and he was begging to watch it, but it's very gory and violent, and people die in it. And I just thought, this is PG-13 and he's 7, but he was completely unfazed, and I don't know if that's a good thing. I feel like he's becoming desensitized already.
Desensitized. Well, I would think that kids today are so much further along in that respect than we were at their same age.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. I don't know why I thought that was a good way to start the show. It was on my mind, and
Wait, I have one more thing to say about that.
Okay.
I'm scarred for life, literally to this day, because a babysitter when I was in 5th grade, I think. I'll have to check the dates on if that makes sense. I think I was in 5th grade. A babysitter let me watch The Exorcist, and I had nightmares
Kristin.
and nightmares and nightmares. Like,
Completely inappropriate.
what was she thinking? Yeah.
Wow.
Bad.
That is scary.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Or no, wait, was it The Exorcist or was it was either The Exorcist or the Amityville Horror, both of which
Probably weren't appropriate.
scarred me for life. Yeah.
For a 5th grader. No.
Yeah. So just a quick update. That's kind of a no kidding kind of an update, but from our last episode, we were joking about how the 5-second rule has been extended to 8 seconds because of the, rising cost of food and goods and so forth.
Absolutely.
So apparently someone actually studied this and put some science behind it. I mean, it's kind of a like duh kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But apparently scientifically, it is never a good idea to pick up food that's dropped on the floor and eat it.
Okay.
If you needed to know the science behind it, no matter what food or floor type, they actually tested it. Bacteria can attach to food immediately. How shocking. Yes. No kidding. But someone took the time to study it. A bioengineer named Nick Eicher tested food dropping into petri dishes at varying intervals from 0 seconds to 30 seconds. I don't know how you measure
Zero. How do you measure
seconds?
0 seconds?
I don't know, Scott, but even the 0-second pieces of food had bacteria on them.
Of course.
And the more time they're laying on the floor, the more bacteria adds up. Yeah, it's a big fat duh. But luckily, for most people, the human body is pretty good at fighting 99.9% of bacteria that you pick up. And
absolutely,
you know, the whole world is covered in bacteria, and we're all just developing healthy immune systems.
There's bacteria on our hands right now. And
yeah.
Going,
don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, I just
stop it.
Yeah.
Icky.
But yeah, our bodies are very, very good about fighting these things. So, I think did I mention this? I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but if you drop a piece of food on our floor, it's coming up with dog hair on it.
Well,
likely.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys heard it here first. Don't pick up food that's dropped on the floor.
No
and
kidding.
Now, Kristin, I'm going to start the jingle.
Nice.
Swish edition, tuning for a lesson, travels, movies, and celebrities, and Scott and Kristin. Swish edition, that's where we all go. Pop culture silliness from coast to coast, it's where we belong. SwishEdition.com. SwishEdition.com.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I just blew out my ear. Had my ear thing up a little too high. What's that you said? Did you say something, Kristin?
I didn't say anything.
Oh my God. All right.
Are you okay over there?
I'm going to be fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna be fine.
All righty then.
No longer hear. I hear you over here, and I hear my board over here. So it's very interesting how this is done.
Oh dear.
I can't get them to come through one set together.
Well, work it out.
I'm working on it. Anyway, welcome everybody to another edition of the Swish Edition. This is episode 457 for April 23rd, 2025. And carrying on our tradition, since Kristin joined the show, we've been using, I don't know if you've realized this, but we're using famous song lyrics as the title of our episodes.
I didn't even realize that, but how clever.
Here, I'm pointing it out to you now, and now you know. Today's episode is called If We Weren't All Crazy, We Would Go Insane. And Kristin and I know these lyrics. It's from the classic Jimmy Buffett song, Changes in Latitudes, Changes in Attitudes, who I had the pleasure of seeing perform in concert at least 4 or 5 times. He was amazing, and he put on a great show.
I agree.
And how apropos are those lyrics for the world we're living in today?
No kidding. No kidding.
If we weren't all crazy, we would go insane.
Oh, man, Jimmy Buffett. He brings back so many good memories for me.
I know. I can't believe he's gone. He was such a force. But he lives on. We can listen to his music. We can go to his restaurants. We can stay in his hotels. We can go on his cruise ship. We can buy his clothes. We can buy his margarita machine, which Dale and I actually have downstairs. So
do you really?
We do. It's really fun. Really fun. And it doesn't have to be margaritas. Any kind of frosty drink can be made in that.
Slushies. I love a good slushie.
Good. So good. So, Kristin, this past Sunday was Easter. How was your Easter?
It was great. We always host Easter. I feel like maybe I said this in the last show, but I feel like Easter is the least pressure of all the major family holidays. Yeah. Like hosting Thanksgiving is a lot of pressure because of the, traditional food. Easter just seems like it's a low pressure one. And I love it. And we had a great time. We had a huge house full of people. The weather was gorgeous. We had an egg hunt. We had all the foods, and it was a great time. How was yours?
Good. It was good. We're actually not doing Easter until tomorrow. Our friends,
why?
we always do Easter with our friends Kim and Jim, who live here in Vegas, and their Saturday and Sunday is Thursday and Friday. So they work Saturday through Wednesday, and it wasn't convenient for them to come over on Easter. So we're having our Easter tomorrow night. Yeah,
cool.
So they're coming. I'm doing the whole thing. I'm doing ham and all the trimmings and deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs, of course. Yeah.
And Dale's putting together these really cute Easter baskets for them. They look like McDonald's Happy Meals
Uh,
with a little handle on top, and we're gonna put lots of eggy things and chocolatey things inside.
that's
So
fun.
yeah,
That's
I'm
super
excited
fun.
about that. Um, on Easter though, I have some bad news, and it doesn't look like it. Can you
I had
tell?
completely forgotten until you just mentioned it.
Yeah, so I broke my nose on Easter
It
Sunday.
does not look broken in the
It does
least.
not look broken. It looked a little more swollen on Sunday and Monday.
But how do
It's
you know that it's actually broken? You didn't go to a
mm,
doctor, did you?
no, I didn't go to a doctor because there's literally nothing they can do for a broken nose. It just needs to heal on its own. This is the second time I've broken my nose, and the second time the same dog was responsible for it both times.
He didn't mean to
It
do
was
it.
Charlie. We were roughhousing. We were playing too rough. He body slammed me into my head, and I heard it go crack.
You heard it.
I'll tell you what I can't do. I can't squeeze it, and I can't. I cannot
Ugh.
pick. I cannot pick my nose, and I cannot blow my nose. So,
Oh my goodness gracious.
but otherwise, if I don't touch my face, I feel fine. It doesn't hurt unless I like move
What
it.
about when you're trying to sleep? Do you have to
Well,
sleep perfectly,
No, I
like
don't
not on
sleep on
your...
my head. I mean, I don't sleep on. My mom asked me the same question. She's like, "Don't you sleep on your stomach?" I'm like, "No." But even if I was
Or
sleeping
even
on my
on your
stomach,
side?
well, I can't. It's not making contact with the pillow, so it's fine. I didn't have
Hmm.
any problem sleeping. So
Oh my.
yeah. Also,
Yowza.
a weird thing happened on Easter Sunday night after the
Mm-hmm.
sun went down. Our neighbors started shooting off fireworks.
For
Now,
Easter?
this is always a problem here in Vegas for 4th of July and New Year's Eve. And it's my two least favorite nights of the year because our dogs go batshit crazy.
I know.
So I didn't expect this on Easter. And at least 3 different neighbors in our development were shooting off fireworks. We're talking professional grade ones that go way up in the sky and explode. So,
Maybe it was,
I
I mean, this gets into something we're going to talk about later, but maybe it was in honor of 420 and not in honor of Easter, but I don't know.
could have been right. They could have been high as a kite, right? They had
Maybe.
some leftover fireworks from New Year's Eve. I don't know. Anyway, it was super annoying. But once we got up to the bedroom and turned on, we use 2 different fans, and they make really a lot of noise. And when you turn them both on, you can't hear anything outside of the house. So
Yeah,
that calmed everybody down.
that's good. That's good. Very
That's
good.
that's my Easter story.
Fire, a broken nose and fireworks on Easter.
Yeah. There you go.
Yowza.
Yeah.
Scott, on this day in history,
Yeah.
here's a fun one.
Mhm.
20 years ago today, the very first video was uploaded to a new website called YouTube.
Yay.
It was a 19-second video that was called Me at the Zoo, that was uploaded by a young guy named Jawed, 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 Jawed.
Jawed.
Yeah, I don't know. While he was at the San Diego Zoo and standing in front of some elephants. It has 355 million views, and Jawed or Jawed has 5.3 million subscribers. But would you like to take a guess at how many videos he's updated in the past 20 years?
Well, I know since I wrote the script.
Just the one. Just the one
One.
video.
He still has an active subscription for the past 20 years. 5.3 million people subscribe to him, and he's only posted one video ever.
That's crazy.
Do you think
Why?
maybe it's
Why
an
do you-
inside job? Maybe
Yeah.
it's really somebody at YouTube?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
But how cool is that? And how cool would it be for us to have 5.3 million subscribers?
Ooh.
You wouldn't need to work anymore.
No?
The show, well,
don't
this
think so?
show, if you guys don't know, speaking of YouTube, get your ass over there if you're just listening to the audio version of this podcast this week, because we are a video podcast now. And you can actually go to YouTube, listen to the show, and see Kristin and me. So
And who wouldn't want to do that?
why wouldn't you want to look at us while you listen to us? I don't know if you saw my post on social media earlier this week, Kristen. I posted a picture of me sitting on my couch with my feet up, and I had us up on my big screen in my family room.
I did see that.
So you can sit in the comfort of your living room or family room or bedroom and watch us while you jerk off or whatever you
oh
want to
my
do.
God, please, for the love of God. I was going to, never mind, keep going. I was going to say an anecdote, but now I won't after you said that. Let's keep going.
All right, keep going.
I have some more news for you from the world of fast food. That's always a
yes.
fun thing to talk about. You and
We love
Daly
it.
used to talk about fast food a lot, right?
Almost every week.
Okay, well, after many months of speculation, apparently McDonald's has confirmed that they're going to bring the snack wrap back. Now,
Very excited.
I will confess that I have never actually eaten a snack wrap.
What? How is that possible?
I don't know. It just doesn't appeal to me. That's like not on my list of things that I would want to get from McDonald's. But
Okay.
so they won't confirm the actual date. They put out a text or something that said it's coming back on 0x.14.2015, which could mean May, June, July, August.
Yeah, 2025. I wrote down
2025.
15, but we know it's 2025.
Oh, sorry, 25.
Yeah.
I beg your pardon. Well, maybe you wrote 2015 because the snack wrap was discontinued in 2016. So it's been a while. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, yeah. So it's been a while since they had it. And it
so
sounds, I mean, it
good.
sounds good the way it's written here. It's chicken, and you can get it apparently either grilled or fried with lettuce, cheese, your choice of sauce. Like what?
Like
what
honey
kind
mustard
of sauce?
or barbecue or one of the ranch. Yeah.
In a flour tortilla. So
Yeah.
is it a way to appeal to people who might otherwise go to Taco Bell for a soft taco or something?
Maybe, or people who don't want all the bread of a sandwich. Maybe.
I guess.
Yeah.
But it's cheap, right? It's it's little and it's inexpensive.
Yeah,
Is that
usually
true?
buy a couple, and they're a lot easier to eat in the car on the go, I guess, maybe.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I guess
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out once they actually
So,
bring it
We
back.
don't know. It could be May, June, July, August, or September. Those are the months that have one digit, right? So
I guess, yeah.
we'll keep you informed. Please subscribe and like the Swish edition so that you'll get information, because you can only get the information about when the snack
Right.
wrap is returning to McDonald's here on the Swish edition.
The Swish edition.
Speaking of fast food, Kristen, this is so bizarre. And, we've talked about a lot of bizarre fast food tie-ins and product placement things over the years. This one takes the cake, or should I say, toothpaste. Takes the toothpaste.
Yeah.
KFC has done a tie-in with a company called His Smile, and they've come up with fried chicken flavored toothpaste.
Disgusting.
I guess it's finger licking good.
No. No, it is not.
Tooth licking good like this.
No.
I love my fried chicken. It's a limited time fried chicken flavored toothpaste that actually KFC came up with. Their social media people came up with this idea for a April Fool's Day prank.
That I get.
But I guess the CEO of KFC or whoever makes such decisions said, you know what? Let's make this real. And so they did.
Why?
You could have bought the toothpaste, and I say could have bought because guess what, Kristen? They're all sold out already.
That does not make any sense. Who's buying this?
The toothpaste was $13 for one tube, and they also sold a KFC branded electric toothbrush for $59. Both are sold out at hissmile.com.
Do you think
So-
people are stocking up for next April Fool's Day? I mean, they can't be
I
buying
don't
it
know.
because they think it sounds good to brush your teeth with something that tastes like chicken.
I didn't check this, but how
Gross.
much you want to bet? I'll bet you, and I'll check as soon as we get off the show today. I bet somebody on eBay is selling this toothpaste. They bought it, and now
yeah.
they're reselling it for more than $13.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. 100%.
There are fools out there who think this is something fun. So before, Kristen, we talked about the KFC candles, which Dale and I bought to test. They do smell, when you light them, there was one that smelled like mashed potatoes and one that smelled like fried chicken.
That's kind of gross.
Yeah. Remember they had the Arby's vodka that tasted like roast beef sandwich.
Did you try that too?
No, it was sold out by the time I found out about it.
Oh my word.
Who wants roast beef flavored vodka?
Well, in that case, I could see a use case of maybe in a Bloody Mary. That might work, but
Yeah, I guess so.
I
Yeah.
don't know. That's just gross. The toothpaste thing is just gross.
It's so
gross.
weird. Weird.
It is
weird,
very
weird.
gross.
Yeah.
Well, from weird to wild, this
Yeah.
is, I feel like we could do a whole segment every week on
Every week.
crazy bananas things that happen on airplanes, in
every
airports or in airplanes. So
Yeah.
the latest one, there is a TikTok video of an absolutely irate Qatar Airlines passenger. And by the way, I always thought it was
it
pronounced Qatar,
I thought it was
but
Qatar.
Rob's aunt and uncle lived there for a while, and they
Uh-huh.
told us it's properly pronounced Qatar.
Oh,
Um,
I've been saying it wrong forever.
yeah, I always thought it was Qatar also. But anyway, so there's a TikTok video of this person on a Qatar Airlines flight who is holding up her like flip-flop or sandal on a
Mhm.
plane, and there's this little tiny girl standing in the aisle next to her. And in the video, she's heard to say, "I'm gonna blank her up. I'm gonna smack the blank out of her." So apparently,
You're allowed to cuss on our show, Kristin.
oh yes, I know, but I don't like to. So apparently, this little girl's mother was all the way at the window seat. Her two kids were in the were in the middle seat.
Fucking
The
dumb.
aisle seat.
2 words, 1 finger.
Stop it. But I might have said this word if this were me, if I were the passenger.
Yeah.
The little girl apparently stabbed her with a fork while her mother was sleeping. So first of all, what? How are you? I mean, maybe she was totally exhausted, but as a mother, there's just no way I would be able to fall asleep on a plane if Max was in the. Like the mother was on the window seat. Her kids were able to just get up and move around freely while she was sleeping. I don't understand.
It was a 14-hour flight, so I guess you have to sleep at some point.
I guess.
Why are you taking kids on a 14? Just leave your kids at home.
No, I don't agree with you there, Scott. People have to fly and people have children, and that's like how life works.
Yeah.
But I would think that you would want to take the aisle seat so that your children are penned and can't get out without
Right.
waking you up. That's the obvious solution
what is
there.
wrong with this little girl that she's got a fork and she's stabbing people with it? Talk about bad seed.
That's a whole other ball of wax is why is your and she looks like maybe 5-ish or so. I don't know if the article or if the video said how old she was, but
But look what she's wearing.
good Lord. She was
She's
wearing a
we-
little dress.
She looks like she's wearing a party dress on a 14-hour flight. How does
Okay, kids want to wear what they want to wear. Sometimes Max wants to wear his pajamas to school. Who are you to stop them? Whatever. It's
that,
like the
let
least
him
of your
wear his
worries.
pajamas to school?
You cannot win every fight, Scott. Sometimes you have to let your kids do what the heck they want to do. But not stab people with forks. That's where you have to
No,
draw the line.
I hope you would draw the line at that. And
Of
please don't put
course.
him in a pink party dress for a 14-hour flight on Qatar Airlines.
He might insist on wearing like Spider-Man pajamas, but no, not a party dress.
All right, I can do you one better than the fork stabbing. You ready?
Yes.
A so-called service dog attacked a passenger in flight. On April 15th, an American Eagle flight from Provo, Utah to Dallas was diverted to Colorado Springs after a dog attacked a passenger on board. It was a bad enough attack that they had to land the plane and send the passenger to the hospital.
This makes me sad.
I hope they also kicked off the dog. I mean, is that a given? I would think that the dog would then be banned from the flight back to Dallas.
Of course.
U.S. law requires airlines to allow service animals in the cabin, limited to certain breeds, but the regulations don't go far enough. I'm putting it out there. This is me talking. The regulations don't go far enough because people are allowed to self-certify their animals, saying that they need this animal for their mental well-being. Now, that kind of ruins it for the people who legitimately need it, Kristin, for like the blind people,
Yeah.
people that have epilepsy, because these dogs can be trained to know when a seizure is coming on.
Yeah. All kinds of cases like that. Legitimate cases.
But these emotional support animals,
I
just
think
I
there
can't
could
get
be
behind this idea.
there could be some I think there could be some valid cases for emotional support animals, but I don't believe in the whole self-certification thing
No.
because people are dumbasses and they
People can't be
will
trusted.
exploit the situation to their yes, for sure.
Not will. They do. I see it on a daily basis. I see people wandering around my Albertsons grocery store with full-size dogs. They don't need that damn dog in the grocery store. If you can't emotionally go to the grocery store without a dog, then you shouldn't be going to the grocery store. You should call Uber Eats or whatever, or Amazon
Instacart.
Fresh. Yeah,
Instacart, yeah.
you can have
Yeah.
someone do it for you. But these people are they're abusing the idea so that they can take their dog in the cabin instead of putting it underneath. But then again,
Which
here
I
they
would never
go.
do.
I never do. You know, my dad was an airline pilot. He said, don't ever, ever, ever put your animals in the cargo hold. It's dangerous, dangerous, dangerous.
If you wouldn't fly in the cargo hold yourself, you shouldn't put your dog in there.
Of course not. But here it goes right back to, I was kidding when I told you that parents shouldn't bring their kids on vacation. I was kidding on that one, even though I don't want to see kids, especially in first class. However, leave your dog at home. Guess what? Your dog doesn't need to go on vacation. It's one thing if you're driving somewhere. So Dale and I are going on a driving trip next month. We rented an Airbnb. We're staying in a private home, has a big backyard that's secured. We're taking the dogs with us. That's different. But if you're going to Disneyland or you're going on a beach vacation on the other side of the country, leave your damn dogs at home. They don't need to go with you. They just don't need to go. Especially if you're going on an airplane. That's what I have to say about that.
I don't agree with the beginning of it, but I agree with the end of it. I don't think dogs belong in cargo holds on airplanes.
Yeah.
I do think dogs, well, anyway, it doesn't matter.
So you would take, when you used to have two small dogs that would have been very, size-wise, you could have easily brought them on an airplane. But
No.
your dogs bark their heads off all the time. So I don't think that would have been a good situation.
I just would never put dogs in a situation to be in a cargo hold where you don't know what's going to happen to them, where it's dangerous. I just would never do that. If I needed to take them with me on a long trip, like if I were moving from coast to coast, then I would be driving them.
Yeah.
But on the
That's
other
what we
hand,
did.
we used to take our dogs to the beach down to the Outer Banks with us every
That's
time.
different.
Which was
You went in
fun.
a car.
Yeah.
You went in a car.
Yeah.
That's totally different. Totally different.
Yeah. Well, okay. So in a completely unrelated story, this is a more fun one that won't make anyone sad.
Okay.
Twinkies is now courting stoners. I think stoners is an outdated term, though. I don't
What do
know.
you
It's
call it?
courting fans of cannabis in all of its forms. Because,
Still stoners.
I don't
No?
know. That seems like a very 70s, 80s thing to say. But anyway, so Smuckers, or I beg your pardon, J.M. Smucker is the name of the company, is now the new owner of Hostess brands like Twinkies, Ding Dongs, Donuts,
You said dig dogs.
the whole 9 yards. Good
You
Lord.
said dig dogs.
Oh my gosh. And they have now started dispatching their Munchie Mobile
I love
to various cannabis stores and dispensaries and events, right?
So smart. So smart.
And they launched it on 420, which of course is the official, cannabis
Stoner
day.
holiday.
And
Yeah.
and as an aside, before I get to the rest of this,
Mhm.
I was thinking to myself yesterday, what is the significance of 420? I mean, I remember it certainly from college days with people that would always talk about getting high at 420 in the afternoon. So 420, the date, came from the time of day.
Okay.
It was just the monthly manifestation of 420.
Yeah.
And so I did some expert internet research on
Oh,
this.
good.
So the origins are kind of murky. There's lots of different theories. One theory was that 420 was the police code for marijuana possession or something, which was debunked. The really zany one was, I don't know if you remember, this song was way before our time, but there was a Bob Dylan song, the title of which was Rainy Day Women number 12 and 35. And the part of the chorus was, everybody must get stoned. Do you remember that song? I have a vague recollection of it.
Okay.
And so people thought that 420 was from that song because 12 times 35 is 420.
Oh my God.
That seems kind of far-fetched.
far-fetched.
The prevailing assumption, and I got this from the AP news source online,
Okay.
is that this all started in the 70s with a group of high school friends from, of course, California, from Marin County in California, which is north of San Francisco, of course, from San Rafael High School. And they called themselves the Waldos. And apparently, a friend's brother was starting to get paranoid because he was growing this patch of weed somewhere up in the hills at a place called Point Reyes.
Okay.
So he gave the Waldos permission. He drew a map while he was high, gave the map to this group of Waldos, and gave them permission to go and harvest the crop to get rid of it. And so every day at 4:20, which was just after high school classes and their football practice ended, they would meet at the school statue, a statue in front of San Rafael High School of the chemist Louis Pasteur. They would meet there, smoke a joint, and then use this crazy map to try to find the patch of weed that was growing in the hills.
So 4:20 was the time, their meeting time.
Yes, and they never found it, but legend has it that they would refer to 420 Louis, which meant meet up, have a joint, and then it got later shortened to 420. Isn't that fascinating?
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a lot. That's
Yep,
a lot,
that was a
Kristin.
lot of research I did for the show. You should be paying me more.
Well, thank
Anyway.
you. More.
Anyway,
Any?
so anyway, Smucker's is brilliant. They dispatched their Munchie Mobile to these places, and apparently on 420 when they launched it, they were giving out free stuff. And they did this in New York, Connecticut, Maryland, New Jersey. Had I known, I could have driven up to Maryland and witnessed it. But
Okay.
and they started the giveaways at 4:20 p.m. on 420.
Perfect. Doesn't that
Which
make
is a good
sense?
idea, because did you know that the snack industry has been declining recently? And apparently even giant Hostess brands, which I would think would be the most popular of all,
Yeah.
are down 2% in the last year because everyone's getting healthy, Scott. No one wants to eat junk food anymore.
No, everyone isn't getting healthy, Kristin. If you were here in my house and walked into the pantry that Dale and I stock, we have this nice big walk-in pantry, and literally at least 50% of the stuff in there are really horrible for you snack foods.
You're junk food junkies. I didn't
We
know
are
this.
junk food junkies. Yeah. How do you think I look this great at 55 years old? It's from eating Ruffles and French onion dip.
You have
before dinner
amazing
every night.
genes. You should be thanking your parents every day because you don't look a day over 30.
There's always jelly beans. There's always M&Ms. There's always nuts. There's always chips.
Nuts
we
aren't
love
junk
Sun
food.
chips. You know we love our Sun chips.
So
Which
does
I
my
f-
mom.
Which I first had with Kristin at the University of Richmond in Virginia before they were on sale to the public.
U of R was a test market for them. My
And they're
mom,
still amazing. They're
my
still
mom,
amazing.
I know, my mother loves Sun Chips. She can't get enough of them.
Yeah.
She was here for Easter and she brought up a canister, a full-size Pringles canister that had little bitty Sun chips in it, which I had never seen before. So I don't know. Check that out if you're
So
into
they're
Sun
making
Chips.
smaller versions now.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also, I have the canister version of mini Doritos. Yeah. Yeah.
I
those
mean,
are
I
fun,
guess
too.
the miniature thing, but why do they have to be in a canister? That I don't get.
They don't break, I guess. I don't know.
Well, so do regular size chips. I don't know. Maybe you should
be in
research
charge-
it.
We should be in charge of the snack food industry, and we could come up with something better, I guess.
Maybe.
Hey, let's shift gears again, if that's okay with you. I
Yeah.
want to talk about TV. Now, I know that 2 weeks ago I recommended The Residence on Netflix, and then last week I rescinded that recommendation. But
Just kidding.
But I have a new recommendation for you guys. Oh my gosh, I love this show. It's called Your Friends and Neighbors. It's on Apple TV Plus, and it stars Jon Hamm, who I absolutely love,
Mm-hmm.
Olivia Munn, Amanda Peet, and Mark Tallman, and it's a dark comedy crime drama. Have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
You have not.
It looks
have
good,
you
though.
heard about it?
No, not until I read the script.
So Jon Hamm stars as this guy named Cooper. He was a New York hedge fund manager who is recently divorced from Amanda Peet, and he becomes unemployed all of a sudden. I won't tell you why because it would ruin it. But then he decides, because he has all these super uber rich friends, right? I think he lives in some Connecticut suburb or something. He is in their houses all the time for parties and dinner parties and events and stuff. And he starts stealing their shit, like $3,000 watches and a football championship Super Bowl ring. I mean, he starts stealing this shit to fund his extravagant lifestyle and to pay for his wife's house,
Oh
because
my Lord.
they're divorced.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's dark. Jon Hamm is incredible in this, and he can just do no wrong. I loved him in Landman. He was so good in that.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Let's not say why he's not in Landman anymore, but this is his new show. There's 3 episodes out now, and then there will be one new one every Friday through May 30th, so you guys can get caught up. It's really, really good.
The premise of this reminds me a little bit of, it's sort of like not fish out of water, but switching social genres. It reminds me of Mary Louise Parker, isn't that her name? In Weeds.
Yeah.
Where she was like a suburban housewife and became a drug lord kind of thing.
Such a good show. Such a good show. Well, the first couple seasons of that show was really good, and then it just got stupid.
I know.
And it
I
went
agree.
too
It jumped
far.
the shark. Yeah.
It did. I watched it all, and I do enjoy watching it all. And I think Dale and I have watched the whole thing 3 times.
Have you really?
Oh yeah, love it. But the first 2 and 3 seasons are so much better than the last 3. It just went a little too far.
Agreed.
Anyway, if you guys are wondering if it's going to go further, it is. Your Friends and Neighbors is getting a 2nd season, and James Marsden is joining the cast for the 2nd season.
I like him.
Yeah. Also, now this has me very, very excited.
No kidding.
My all-time favorite movie of all time is Clueless with Alicia Silverstone, the 1995 movie. I love it. I've probably seen it 40 times, and that's not a joke. And I can hear you ruffling your script, so you need to let go of your script and stop touching it. I'm serious. I like to call her out on shit. Anyway, Peacock is developing a new sitcom, and Alicia Silverstone has agreed to come back and play Cher as an adult. So I'm super excited about it. This is the same people that made Gossip Girl. Were you a fan of Gossip Girl?
Never
Kristin?
watched it. Never watched it. It just didn't appeal. It just didn't appeal to me. I don't know what to tell you. And I'm sorry to tell you this, but the reboot of Clueless is not going to be good. Why do we have to reboot everything? Clueless is, I don't have as much, I don't hold it in as high esteem as you do, certainly. I don't think anyone on the planet does. It was a cute movie. It's not going to be good, brought back to life all these many years later. There are no original ideas left in the world.
I would like to announce right now, here at the 37-minute mark of the Swish Edition, episode 357, that this will be Kristin's last episode. Thank you, Kristin, for filling in for Dale. He will be returning next week. Clueless is one of the best shows of all time, and I hope this works.
Yes, but it's not going to be good redone. I'm so tired of retreads, which, if you're done talking about your favorite movie, I can move on to the next thing, which is in a similar vein.
Go.
Which is that we're going to have a 3rd Beetlejuice. Seriously? Like, why? I don't understand. So Beetlejuice 3, is it going to be called Beetlejuice Beetlejuice Beetlejuice? I mean,
I cannot believe you just said it 3 times in a row.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know what's going to happen now?
No, I don't, because I never saw the first one or the second one.
Well, then you're a fucking idiot. Everybody knows this. Now, all of the listeners of the Swish Edition know that you have no taste in movies or television shows.
Yeah, because I never saw Beetlejuice and I never watched Gossip Girl.
How did you not see the original movie that came out in 1988?
I mean, I saw bits and pieces of it, but again, it just didn't appeal to me. I don't know.
One of the best. And
oh, God.
The movie, the new one that they made last year, I'm taking over. I'm going to talk about it.
Okay, fine.
Last year's sequel, the Beetlejuice, it made over $400 million. It was a huge hit. Everyone thought it was going to be horrible.
Great.
And it was awesome. It was just as good as the original.
Great. I'm glad for all the brainless people that went to see it, but I wasn't one of them.
I mean, almost 40 years later, Michael Keaton got right back into character. It was
good
so
for him.
great.
I like him. I like him. I just don't want to see that movie.
The Beetlejuice movies?
I seriously doubt it.
You guys would love it, and your kid would love it too. They're so fun.
Well, maybe we'll watch it for Max's sake. I don't know.
Oh my God. I'm going to have to vet these before we do the show to make sure you're on board with what I'm talking about. We're supposed to be cheerleaders for this shit, Kristin.
Oh, sorry. Go see Beetlejuice for the third time.
Kristin, when are you bringing your family to Vegas? We talked about that a little bit earlier this morning. I know that you want to come here by yourself and hang out with us. And I agree with you that we would have a spectacular time because we could show you a good time in Vegas, Kristin. We could. But you know what else would be fun for me is to show Max some of the great, great fun things we have for kids here in Vegas. And I know I'm always railing against the fact that kids should not be in Vegas.
Why are you bringing your kids on vacation to Las Vegas?
Kids should not be in casinos is basically why I have a problem with it. But there's tons and tons of stuff here and around Vegas for kids to do. And I could take them to the lion habitat. I could take
Laura
them to...
and Jay brought their kids when the kids were smaller, right? To Vegas.
And we took them to all the cool things. We took them to see the lions. We took them to shows. We did all the fun stuff.
We need to plan it. I know. I need to plan a trip.
But the reason I'm talking about this is Cirque du Soleil is doing a new thing. They're testing it with one of their shows here in Vegas. You know they have 5.
Wow.
So Ka, the amazing show at MGM Grand, they've introduced now 4:30 p.m. matinees on weekends, which I think is a genius move. There's a lot of people out there, especially like Jamie Lee Curtis, who has said many times on social media, why can't there be matinees of concerts? Why can't Lady Gaga do a 2 p.m. concert?
So I can be home and in bed and asleep by 10 o'clock.
That's what I want. Exactly. I want the same thing. I don't see any reason why we have to wait until the nighttime to see a concert. You know? They have football games and baseball games and hockey games in the middle of the afternoon. Why can't we have shows and concerts in the middle of the afternoon?
Yeah,
that would be my dream. How about a brunch event? Let's go see Michael Jackson 1 at Mandalay Bay
and drink mimosas. Yeah.
So anyway, we have 5 shows. I'm glad they're starting with Ka. I hope it works, and I hope they do it with all their shows. Kristin, every single one of these I could take Max to, except for Mad Apple. Mad Apple, you have to be 18 to go to. It's very adult. But we've got Mystere at Treasure Island, at Bellagio, Michael Jackson 1 at Mandalay, and Ka at MGM Grand. And they're amazing. So
I bet Max would love it.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Some more MGM news. MGM is laying off all of its telephone receptionists and in-house linen people in a cost-cutting move. They're outsourcing all this stuff. People up here in Vegas, Kristin, are very up in arms about this because a lot of people are going to be out of work. And so now when you call, and I don't know who calls a hotel anymore to make a reservation. I mean, don't you pretty much do it all online?
I can't believe it's not all AI.
Yeah, right? So now you're going to be talking to someone in India, or maybe it will be AI. I don't know. MGM is done dealing with those unions, and they don't want to pay someone to wash bed sheets. They're just going to have a company come pick them up and drop off clean ones. So,
I can't believe that part of it didn't happen a long time ago, to be honest with you.
Actually, you're right. So, really cool, more Vegas-y stuff. Dale and I were thrilled, and he got a couple pictures of it. We were driving down the highway on our way to, I don't know where we were going, Mandalay Bay, probably, because that's where we work. And we saw the Goodyear Blimp. Have you ever seen the Goodyear Blimp?
I haven't.
You've never in your whole life seen it
I've never seen it in
TV?
person. I've only seen,
So it was here for WrestleMania. WrestleMania 41 was happening at Allegiant Stadium, where the Super Bowl was a couple of years ago, where our awesome Raiders play. Get this, Kristin. 61,467 people in that stadium to see WrestleMania 41.
That's so crazy to me.
And John Cena, who I love as an actor, and he's so great as an actor, and he's also still a wrestler. He won his record 17th world title this past weekend here in Vegas. Isn't that great?
Yeah. I mean, it's just so silly. I never understood why people watched it. I don't know if I'm friends with, have been friends with this Guy Robertson. I don't know if you remember my friend Guy.
Of course I do. We went on vacation once with him to the beach.
Yes. And he's a very successful, really smart, intellectual person, and he was into watching wrestling, and I never could figure it out. Like, it just seems so corny. It's scripted and it just seems silly, and I never got it, but it's
I don't get
apparently
it either.
very, very popular.
Well, it is very popular, and guess what? Vegas loves it, and we hope it keeps coming back here because it brought lots and lots of people to Vegas, and they spent lots and lots of money.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure
that's
they
what
did.
we like. Although one of our Vegas influencers, social influencers, said, "I'm glad they're here, but they're not tipping very much." Apparently, wrestling fans don't tip much. So
Oh dear.
that was just one guy. I don't know if he was just talking to some waitress friends of his or something. I don't.
Oh,
Just because a couple of them don't tip doesn't mean they all don't tip, right?
right.
Yeah. Perez Hilton, who is our newly minted Las Vegas influencer, got to ride on the Goodyear Blimp with his kids while it was here in town.
Good for him.
Good for him. I wish I would love to go in. I would. That's one thing I would do. I'd go in a blimp.
I don't know if
No?
I would.
They hardly ever crash.
Sketchy. Hardly ever.
I Will Always Love You, Kristin. You know that. It's also one of Whitney Houston's biggest songs, written by Dolly Parton, of course.
Yeah.
Did you know that there's a Whitney Houston slot machine now in Vegas casinos and probably
did
in
not know
casinos
that.
across the country? Yes. I actually got to play it before you did or other people, because I saw it at the gaming trade show before it hit casino floors.
Oh.
However, apparently there is one at the Virgin Hotel. Last week, a gambler from California was playing $3 a hand, $3 a spin. He won $1.5 million on a $3 bet. Thank you, Whitney Houston, I bet he was saying.
Wow.
As a side note, Kristin,
Yeah.
worst concert I ever been to in my entire. I've been to a lot of concerts, and the worst concert I ever went to was Whitney Houston in Norfolk, Virginia.
Norfolk, Virginia.
Yeah.
But was it later on in her career?
Height. We're in high school.
Really?
Horrible. You wanna know why?
Why?
She did not sing one. I went with Clark Duncan. Remember Clark Duncan?
Oh, of course I remember Clark Duncan.
He lives in Asheville. He lives in Asheville, North Carolina now.
That's where I'm going this weekend. I'm going to Asheville.
Oh, don't tell people where you're going ahead of time.
Oh, right. Oops. Well, they don't know where I'm going
Nobody's
in
coming
Asheville.
looking.
It's a big place.
No one's coming looking for you.
Don't look for me.
But anyway, Clark and I went, and she sang every single song differently than she did in the published album versions of her songs.
So you couldn't sing along.
Yeah, it was horrible. Everybody agreed it was horrible. I don't know why she did that. It was just icky. Disappointed. So disappointed.
I mean, artists that have been around for years and years and years sometimes do that to change things up, and I get that.
Yeah.
But at the height of your career, when you're a top 40 pop artist,
Yeah. You have the
that
business.
is going to tend
You
to
have
make
no
people
business.
mad with you.
It did. It did. It did.
What a shame.
All right. You hear that music? That means we've come to the end of the show. Unless you have something else you want to say.
I got nothing. else.
All right. Well, I've got one more thing. Just came out yesterday morning. If you guys are fans of teenage horror films, I am. The trailer for I Know What You Did Last Summer, the movie sequel to the hit, was it early 2000s or late 90s?
I
maybe?
don't know.
The trailer came out yesterday. The movie is hitting theaters this coming July. It looks good. I put it up on our Facebook page, so you guys can go to Facebook, Swish Edition. Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. are returning as their characters from the original, and there's a whole bunch of new kids that are going to get in trouble and get killed. So,
Oh my
kind of
fun.
fun. Are you telling me you don't
No
like I Know What You Did Last Summer?
original ideas. I did see that movie,
Yeah.
so at least I did see the
They're
original.
allowed to make sequels.
There's no reason to be trying to reboot it this many years later. Ugh.
Lots of things get rebooted years later, like Beetlejuice.
Yeah, and I wouldn't see that if it were playing on my back porch. The only thing recently that I have truly, truly enjoyed was the Top Gun redo when Val Kilmer was still alive. Loved it.
this
I
is
could
what-
watch that 12 times.
You're an idiot. And giving giving money to a Scientologist, putting money in a Scientologist's pocket.
For crying out loud. I can't be concerned with people's
Tom
personal lives.
It's not his personal life. He makes it his entire life. It's a dangerous, dangerous cult that has ruined people's lives. They've murdered people. It's a horrible, nasty place. And this is why I won't even be watching The Simpsons anymore. Do you know I found out that Nancy Cartwright, I think it's Nancy Cartwright.
Yes, Bart.
The voice of Bart. She's a Scientologist.
I know. I saw
Bart
that.
Simpson is a Scientologist. Disgust
All right. Well,
me.
this took a very ugly turn. But anyway.
How is it ugly to denounce a cult? It is a cult. It's not a religion. It's a made-up fake religion to cover up a cult. Money grubbing, people manipulating cult is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't think so?
I think I do, but I wasn't prepared to talk
about it.
I wasn't prepared to talk about Scientology. I just thought the Top Gun reboot was good. That's all.
Damn you, Kristin. You're just so wrong on everything. All right, we'll talk.
Oh, dear.
We'll talk. Kristin and I will yell at each other again next week.
Next week.
I love you. You know I love you.
I love you too.
Even with all your faults. All right, I'm going to play the outro music and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Okay, bye.
The Swish Edition is a production of Bethwick Media, LLC. Learn more about the show at swishedition.com. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast app or site. But only if you like us.